Cowboy Nation, what's up? Once again, it's Table Talk, and it's your man Rudy Rush, comedian Rudy Rush, here with Brady James, and fresh from practicing for the French Toast Eating Championship, my man Bryce Butler.
In the building.
Bryce Butler in the building. What's up? What's good, fellas?
Nothing much, man. Good. Excited to see my French toast, my scrambled, and my bacon. It's time
Yeah.
to get to it.
So before we get into the show, we got to talk about the French toast, because that's like a staple of the show now. You can't order anything else.
My French toast.
Everybody who watches the show, that dude goes in on the French toast,
Yeah.
kids and everything. What's your affection with?
Anything. If it's pancakes, it would have been pancakes. I'm a French toast or a pancake for breakfast guy. And typically on Tuesdays, have a late wake up. And then I don't eat until I come here.
Yeah.
So I'll be ready to, it'd be like 10:35.
But the move is, first off, you put both elbows in your lap.
Yep.
And then
You see they're already there.
Your neck
It's a
has
setup
to
for-
protrude.
You see they're already there.
And then you get ready with the silverware and just go in.
Hey, I'm
You know,
looking
just
at
in
it.
case.
It's time to attack. I
Yeah.
feel it looks pretty good right
So
now.
a couple of questions from some people that actually hit me up on Instagram and Twitter. Is this what you eat before your games? Is this like a pregame meal?
You know what? To be honest with you, the pregame meal changes per week, just depending on where we're at. If we're playing away, different hotels have different styles of food, and like some hotels might have good French toast, some hotels might not have good French toast, or waffles or whatever.
Yeah.
Typically, if we play, I try to just get like a lot of carbs. I know this has a lot of carbs in it, but I try to get like pasta. So. Really, I'm eating like spaghetti, chicken, marinara sauce, and stuff like that before the game.
Cool.
If we play late, I gotta get all three meals in. So I'm getting the breakfast in,
Yeah.
then I get the pregame
Yeah.
in. But if we play like at 1 or 3, I kind of try to just wait until like a certain time
Yeah.
and just eat everything.
Okay.
You know what's crazy? A lot of people don't realize that every week during the season, the night before the game, we stay in a hotel.
Yeah.
And it depends, like you're saying, on wherever you are. It's different places. We don't stay in the same hotel
Yeah.
when we travel,
Yep.
but we stay in the same hotel when we have a home game. So you got to make sure that you request whatever it is that you like, because we don't like to change, especially if you win that week.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
win
you
that
want
week,
the same
whatever
thing. You
you
want to eat the same
eat, yeah,
thing.
same
Same
thing.
thing.
So did you have a pregame meal?
Well, it depends. It depends on where we were. Like he said, a lot of times in Philly, when we went to Philly, probably didn't eat, because you never know.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Philly.
yeah,
They
yeah.
come
Philly
to
really,
get you.
yeah, they
come
terrible
to
out
make
there.
you drink. Yeah.
But yeah, you know what? So speaking of food, so you guys had a great game, so the food must have been good at the hotel in Washington.
It was all right. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
We stayed at a hotel outside the city, like
Yeah.
closer to Baltimore.
Okay. Yeah.
Typically we stay in DC, but I guess they were like, nah, we ain't doing that.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
year.
But you guys
it's
had a
tight.
great game. You won against division rival, one of the best rivalries in history of
Yeah.
all sports. So, how was that game? How did it feel?
It was cold, it was wet, and it was rainy
Yeah.
all game. But it was great, man. To win a division game like that against like the Redskins
Yeah.
is big. Especially for my guy right here. When we win, everybody.
You know
what I'm saying? Like the main thing. When we
That's
win,
his
everybody
motto
wins.
now. I think he got a
That's his
tattoo saying it.
So it went well, man. Zeke ran the ball well again.
Yeah,
Two weeks in a row. After a slow start and fumbling off his first carry,
Yeah.
or the first play for us in the game. And then after that, we just, hunkered down and played hard, and, the defense played great. It was a collective win. Like, we've been looking for that win all year.
Yeah.
Special teams, defense, and offense.
Nice.
And we got it. When we needed a field goal block, we got a field goal block and a return. If we needed a pick or a turnover, we got it
Yeah.
from the defense. And then when it was time to get down and get some points, we got him. And then Mike Nugent, our new pickup at kicker, went in there and hit, I think, 4 or 5. Which was, 12 big points.
Hey, we saw him outside last week. He
Yeah,
was out
he
there.
was out
We did. Yeah, before Miles came.
He was
So,
out there practicing.
he's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
I think this is his 13th or 14th year, so this is not his first rodeo. And he went out there and handled his business.
For me, the games, when we start talking about wet and cold, see, as players, I'm from the South, and you either like a hot game, a cold game, or just a wet game. Once you mix wet with hot, it's humid. Don't like that.
Nope.
Once you mix wet with cold, don't
That's
like
real
that.
bad.
I'll never forget when being at LSU, we played Arkansas my second year, so it was in year 2000. we come out off the
I
field,
was 10.
and Nick. All right, cool. But Nick Saban is out there on the field going bananas. I come on the sideline. He was like, "Everybody's playing soft. Everybody's playing soft. Take the jackets off." I was like, "Yo, wait. I just got off the field. I had nothing to do with what everybody was doing on the sideline, and then we take it off the jackets." I said, so he was like, "You guys not tackling, catching it, And as a player, you start mumbling under your breath. You get out there, I'm gonna tackle you."
Right. I feel you though, because I remember college, like we would play cold games, and like you weren't allowed to wear a jacket, because it was like one of those things where it was like. You would consider soft
man up.
if you had a jacket. And you'd be like, bro, like, we playing a football game. Like, nobody's soft out here. Like, so, like, if I'm cold on the sideline and I want to be warm before I go back out there, let me be warm.
Let me do my jacket on. Let me do my thing. And then the year we went 13-3, we were 13-2, and we played the Redskins the last game of the season. So it was cold, but then it started raining, and it was the game. It was our game where we were like we had already had to bye, so everybody was kind of chilling, but guys were getting after it. But once you come off on the sideline and your body is warm, all that stuff, you get on the sideline and you don't have that jacket, it starts getting cold. Man, I don't care how many weights you lift. You
gonna be out there
you feel it,
It don't matter. I was draped up in my raincoat all side. Hey.
Yeah.
And even when the offense is in, I have it on.
Really?
When you call me in, I'm taking it off.
Yeah.
It's like one of these. Bryce, go in.
Let me just stay warm the whole time.
Yeah.
Now, one thing you both can, like understand and just like, we watch you guys play the Redskins. It's one of the biggest rivalries, and you played against them as well. So how is it on the field? How is that you guys jog back and forth with the other players? Is there like some real heated? Because sometimes you go out there and play and it's competitive and you're riled up. But these guys, you're born to hate these guys. How is everything on the field leading up to the game on the field and everything else afterwards?
For me, I remember when we played here in AT&T Stadium. We had some battles, and I think we played here in AT&T. In 2010, we won 7-6, and Clinton Portis hit me in the side of my neck. He and I had always had our deal. He was one of the best blocking running backs at that particular time. He hit me in the side of the neck. I couldn't wait for the play. I wanted to jump off sides because that's really what it was. It was like no matter what the score is, it's the last person that gets the last hit or the last score. Like, and then when we see each other, out during the off season, everybody kind of the record screeches when the Cowboys walk in DC or Maryland, or if these guys ever if those guys ever came to Dallas. We all knew about it. Somebody hitting you up like, hey, we got some Redskins up in here. They hit you. Okay, we got to go see these guys.
Well, that's cool, man. So now there's a lot of things going on in the news, of course. We're just going to talk about it briefly. In the news this morning, Zeke, they're saying they reissued the 6-game suspension. Not to go in depth about that, but to ask you as a player, the distraction level. How is that, because I'm sure when you're at your locker and, the press is there, is that somewhat of a distraction, always constantly having to answer questions about that situation?
You know what? Amidst all the distractions that's been there this year, there's been a lot of them. Yeah. And I really feel like this one is the lowest one on the totem pole. Just for reasons, because I think it's because this is like a football distraction. So like in the media, it's not as juicy as the other distractions that was going on. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, for instance, like, Bryce Butler is not going to be uneasy at night if he hears that Zeke is suspended, as opposed to the other distractions that were happening. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it was interesting because Erin Andrews asked me the same thing in San Francisco, and she was like talking about distractions but didn't put a title on what she was talking about. So I thought she was talking about
the whole,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, I was, like, kind of answering it.
That shows you how much is going on, because you don't know what to choose from.
Exactly.
You talking about the argument at my mama's house?
Yeah.
You talking about it?
Exactly. So she was asking me that, and, like, I kind of started answering it, and then, like, she started talking about, like, a court case, and I was like, hold on, what you talking about? And she was like, Zeke, and I was like, oh. Then I was like, all right, cool. So then I felt even better because I was like, this is easy to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Bam, bam, bam. So it's like one of those scenarios, man. And, for Zeke specifically, I just hope whatever happens in his best interest can happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
you know, for our team, it's tough. You know what I'm saying? Because we give him the ball.
He's an
like 30
important part of the
sometimes a
team.
game.
Yeah.
But, you know, Brady knows this better than anybody. It's a next man up league, man. So we got like 6 or 7 other backs.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
been
some good
chomping
backs,
at the bit, waiting to get in.
And as a vet, how you feel about
Man,
that?
you know, I just wish the league just go ahead and say what it is. Without, you know, they have to be PC, politically correct, but they need to just say what it is. Listen, if they had Zeke in this summer, and if they said, listen, if we see your name come across this table again, we suspending you, no matter what. And that's what it really feels like.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just break it down without all the other stuff and all the layers, it just seems that way. So, no, they can't come out and say that. And everybody knows, as Cowboy fans, that it was going to happen.
Yeah.
So you wanted to make sure you get a head start and win as many games as you could. And so here we are. So, again, we don't know if it could happen. I'm learning a lot about the court system.
I am too.
Right?
I was like, how many appeals you got?
Yeah, what you got?
Let me call my uncle. He said, get out. Get out. You still got a chance, but listen, we're going to talk about something real special because last week we talked about, you know, people, but now it's, you know, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we got a guest coming through from Brady's Foundation, Charlotte Gauthier. She'll be with the show in a second, so we'll be right back with more Table Talk in a second. Hey, we're back with Table Talk. Brady James, my man Bryce Butler, Rudy Rush, and we got a special guest from Brady's organization, Foundation 56, which I'm proud to be a part of myself and done some work with them in the past with breast cancer awareness. And I'm gonna let Brady take it over and talk about the organization and introduce our guest.
So October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and people don't realize that breast cancer happens 365 days of the year, not just in October. It's not over because the month ends and we're going into November. I lost my mom to breast cancer when I was in college. Didn't know anything about breast cancer, but I was in the right place to discover and learn. And I said that if God gave me any kind of way to help other people, that I would do that. And so with that being said, I started Foundation 56, and we started planting mobile units because early detection was the key in aiding the fight of breast cancer. And so I didn't know what that looked like, so I started partnering with other health systems, and that's where Charlotte has come in. She works for Methodist, and our partnership started in, what would you say?
In 2009.
Yeah, 2009. It's been a while. And we just wanted to get straight to the end user from a patient standpoint. It's a lot of other organizations that were out there. I didn't want to do the PR stunt. I didn't want to do the marketing piece, because if I didn't have to do it, I wouldn't do it, because I wanted to not just make statements, I wanted to make an impact. And after going through it, you know, breast cancer, we think that it's all a female's disease, but it's not. It's a family. It affects the family, and there are some men that have breast cancer. But from a family standpoint, we wanted to create an atmosphere where people can come in, have a nurse navigator to navigate them through the continuum. So Charlotte has helped me in the Dallas market, and we'll turn it over to you, Charlotte. How has it been?
So it's been great, you know, your help with us getting the mobile unit, with the resource center, you know, having somewhere where women can come and talk to their peers together in a private setting about their experiences, even with their family members. It's been a really good experience, and our patients absolutely love it. And, you know, if there's one thing I always tell men, and thank you for inviting me, is that y'all have a huge impact on women getting screened and feeling comfortable with the diagnosis and feeling the support of their family and their husbands and brothers and uncles and things like that.
And it's funny that, you know, talking from experience, because sometimes, you'll sit here and you'll be like, oh, I don't know anything about the foundation, but I've done some things with the foundation. And one thing I did like that you guys do is you bring people together, because some of those people go through chemo and all that other stuff by themselves. And you guys brought it to a point to where they actually have other people who can not only share their stories, but help them along in the process. And I thought that was kind of great, because a lot of people go through this stuff by themselves.
That's right. And the foundation helped us a lot with that. So with the Brady James Resource Room, that's our center for our support group meetings that we have every month. Even the foundation helping out with like yoga therapy and lymphedema therapy and things like that. The women really, really appreciate that. And us being in a community, when we get to market, that we're teaming up with Foundation 56, and they know that's Brady James Foundation, they are all there, and they're calling, they're ringing our phones off the hook, saying, is Brady going to be there?
I'm trying to get a room donated at my place, you know what I'm saying? He's donating rooms.
I know.
But it's really a great thing to see people come out there and not only getting help, but be happy while they're going through their situation. And, people don't think about that all the time. We're just so cookie cutter, just going in and out of different situations. So I think that's a great thing that you guys are doing over at, Foundation 56.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks, and shout out to Methodist for all the support that they've given us. It's not about me. And I don't have breast cancer. It's about the patients, and I wanted to create that environment so families could not necessarily go through what we went through, because we had no idea what the next steps were, and I think we've been able to achieve that.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. And like with our nurse navigation, they'll walk a lady through the entire process. And
wow, that's awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate everything you and Brady do for everyone as it pertains to, breast cancer awareness and everything, and getting people in the know and stuff like that. So we're done today, but we'll be back next week for Table Talk. The French Toast, we'll be back with my man Bryce.
You already know.
Brady, Rudy Rush, you know how we do. We out of here. Table Talk.